Hey everybody, it's Chaz. Today's contact staff tutorial is on the Fishtail. So the Fishtail is a classic contact staff move. Unfortunately, it's one of those moves that looks a lot easier than it is. However, once you do get the knack of it, it is quite easy to perform, but it can be quite tricky to learn, so don't be discouraged if it takes you a little while. So the first thing we're going to do to learn the Fishtail is just balance the staff on the back of our hands, although it's more kind of on the join of where your hand and your wrist is, just here. So balancing on the back of your hand, if you need to shift the center point a little bit to get the balance right, and then from here you can use your other hand and start the staff moving sideways, and with your hand flexed a little bit, so pointed back up, your fingers pointing slightly towards the sky, as the staff turns it's going to catch on one side the inside of your hand but also the outside of your forearm, and as it swings back the other way it's going to catch the outside of your hand and the inside of your forearm. So this is just a little exercise to get you used to controlling the staff with your wrist. So obviously there's a fair bit more to a fishtail than just bouncing the staff back and forth, so let's approach it a bit more fully now. So we're going to start off with a hand wrap. Now if you don't know what a hand wrap is, or you can't figure it out from that little demonstration there, I teach hand wraps fully in my book First Contact, which you can find a link to in the little information bar that's just up there. So with the hand wrap we're going to start off with the center point outside of your thumb, and you're going to roll over your hand, but rather than just letting it roll over your hand like that, we're going to swing the hand over to the other side. So I'm going to stand side on to show you this. So the staff is going to come over onto your hand, and as it comes onto your hand we're going to swing the staff round and over this way. So the movement with the hand is going to be up and then down. Show from this side, it's going to be up and down, and your hand's going to twist back this way slightly before it comes over. Now when we were doing this exercise, at one point the staff was gripped between the inside of the hand and the outside of your forearm, and that's what's going to be controlling the staff as it rolls over here. So as it comes over and I'm lifting up, there's grip just here, and there's also a slight bit of grip on this side as well. So one more time. Now from the other side. And if we go from square on as well, comes across your body, and you can take it back into your hand with your arm crossed over your body. So that's kind of half a fishtail. Hand wrap, swing round. So now we need to do it from the other side. So I'll start from this side. This time the hand wrap we're going to use is the opposite one, so the center point is on the outside of your little finger, rolls over your hand like that. But this time, again, I've got the staff square onto the camera, but I'm side on, and as the staff rolls onto my hand I'm going to swing across, again same motion but in reverse. We're going to swing across and come back to here like that. So from this side, and let's do it square on as well. Okay, so if we put those two together, essentially you'll have a fishtail. However, obviously it's not quite as easy as that. The motion you're going to end up with doing with your hand is, surprisingly enough, reminiscent to a fishtail. So it's this sort of sideways figure of 8 or infinity sign kind of motion you're making, and your hand's going to have to stay flexed, and you can see how it's switching on each side, so here and here. So let's have a go at putting both of those together. I'll start side on first of all. So back to the first side again, we're going to swing across and then immediately we swing back. So instead of catching the staff here, we're going to go swing it back across, and as you swing back across, that will change the points of contact. So remember I was saying, as we come this side, we're controlling here and here. As we swing back across, that switches, and we're going to be controlling with the outside of our hand and the inside of our forearm. 1, 2. From this side, 1, 2. 1, 2. And from the front, 1, 2. Now, might be a good idea to practice doing that starting on the other side as well. So 1, 2. And then as you get better with that, you can start making it more continuous. Let's get from the side. Okay, so you can do this move, you can do a fishtail either in wheel plane or you can do it in wall plane. So there is a forwards fishtail as well. I'm not going to show you too much of the forwards fishtail for a couple of reasons. One, it's a lot harder than a reverse fishtail, and two, mine is pretty rubbish, so I don't want to encourage bad habits. But basically, you can learn the forwards fishtail by just switching the method we learned to use the reverse. So remember, to start off with the reverse, I started with a hand wrap with the center point starting on the thumb side. This time I do it starting on the little finger side, roll over to there, and then conversely with my arm across my body, we're going to start with the center point on the thumb side, and like before when we were doing the reverse it was that way, and we come to there. Now the reason my forwards fishtail is so terrible is particularly on this side. You see splayed fingers, the little finger coming round, the staff is almost rolling onto the front side of my hand. Now that's bad technique, and unfortunately I've got myself into a little rut there, but you can look at particularly the guys who do double fishtails or people who are fishtailing with a club to see some really excellent form on particularly the forward side of the fishtail, because you can't get away with it doing those hard sort of disciplines. So that's the fishtail. I will leave it there and leave you with a few combinations that you can do with fishtails. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and check out some of my other videos, and also my blog. Find links to those various things stuck around the screen here. Cheers, bye bye.